What you need?
I couldn't help but overhear the argument you and Miss Camillo had.
She messed up my rifle so I couldn't shoot that wolf, so I tossed her out. Told her to take her little crusade somewhere else.
Have you told Chantal that you threw her out?
No, not yet. She's not going to be happy. But by golly, that woman was a menace. Anybody who deliberately sabotaged a man's rifle is capable of anything. But at least now I know why I missed that wolf. And like I told her as I was giving her the bum's rush, next time, I won't miss.
I'd better get back upstairs.
See you later.
Halt! By order of the Snow Princess, you shall not pass!
Ow!
You win! Heads up! Halt! The battle for the kingdom of the Snow Princess begins! You win! Heads up!
Ah, warm again. Order up. Order up. Order up. Order up.
trespass here. You shall pay for your insolence. You win! Bombs away!
It is really, really cold out here. Rats, too small. Not what I need. There we go, a 2-foot northern pike. No more fishing for me. Oh my gosh, whoever threw that ice ball at me must have set off an explosion that shattered the ice. And my jacket's gone. No wonder I'm so cold. A coat. I need to make it to shore by jumping from ice floe to ice floe and put on that coat before I freeze to death. I don't know whose this is or why that wolf left it here, but at least now I won't freeze to death. Ah, much better. I was really cold. There's a note in one of the pockets. Since I can't go back the way I came, maybe these tracks will lead me to shelter. Avalanche Ridge. Ugh, not exactly reassuring. The snow's so deep, I'm sinking up to my knees. If I want to follow those tracks, I'm gonna need some snowshoes. Ski tracks, probably Yanni's. I bet if I follow them, I'll wind up back at the lodge. I can't stop shivering. I need to get in and out of the cold, like, soon. Ah, warm again.
Hello?
Hi, it's Nancy Drew.
I'm glad you called. Ollie tells me Guadalupe Camillo checked out.
Actually, it was more like Ollie threw her out.
Well, good riddance, right? I mean, he said she was an environmental nut job. In fact, he said he wouldn't be surprised if she's the one who caused those accidents and blew up the bunkhouse.
I don't think so.
You don't? I was hoping I could tell my lawyers that the case is closed and come home.
I still have to come up with proof.
Oh, that. Well, the lodge is probably better off without her in any case. Although she did pay for her stay in advance, and in cash. Cash is good. Oh well. Anything else to report?
I think I'm onto something, but I desperately need snowshoes. Could you give me the combination to the lock on the display case so I could use the ones in there?
I certainly can, but I'm not going to until you do something for me.
Like what?
I'm going to fax you a survey that Tino came up with. He says you're to fill most of it out by observing the people staying at the lodge, rather than just asking them the questions outright. He says that would put them on their guard. When it's all filled out, fax it to Tino. The results will help him come up with a profile that will help you to determine which of our guests is responsible for the accidents.
I really don't think that's necessary.
Well, Tino does, so I'm faxing it to you even as we speak. In fact, it's done. So why don't you go get it right now? I'll wait.
Great. I just hope the questions aren't too dumb. Got it.
Good. Now remember, when you're done filling it out, fax it directly to Tino. And he wants you to call him before you do so he can turn his machine on.
Did you know that Ollie is building a trap to catch the wolf that's been hanging around?
No, but he told me he'd been having trouble shooting it, so good for him. Whatever it takes to get rid of it.
But why does he need to get rid of it? It's not hurting anything.
It's freaking out my guests, which means it's hurting my bottom line, especially on top of everything else that's been happening.
But why not, say, call a wolf sanctuary and have them come and take the wolf away? That would certainly be more humane.
Look, Ollie's had a lot of experience with varmints or whatever he calls them, so I have to assume that he knows best. In fact, I think he used to hunt wolves for food. Or was that bears? Lions, tigers, bears, wolves, they're all a huge insurance risk for someone in my business. So I don't care how Ollie does it. I just want that wolf gone. ASAP.
That's it for now.
I have to get going too. Bye.
Hi, Lupe. This is Nancy Drew again.
Is everything all right?
The wolf's fine. I just have some questions.
Like what?
If I were to ask you which planet you most identify with, which one would you say?
Earth. No, wait. Make that Venus. No, Earth. No, actually Venus. No, Earth. No offense, dear, but that's a very silly question.
Tell me about it. I've got another kind of weird question for you. From what side of the bed do you usually get up?
That is weird, but harmless, I suppose. Let me think. I get up on my left side.
Well, I'll let you go.
Feel free to call me anytime. Bye.
Nancy, hi! What the heck happened out there?
Actually, I'm not quite sure.
I walked out to Icicle Lake to see how you were doing in the fishing shack, only there wasn't any fishing shack. There wasn't even a lake. The ice was all busted up like somebody dropped a bomb on it.
All I know is, after I caught that 2-foot northern pike, I walked outside and someone knocked me unconscious with an ice ball. The next thing I knew, there was an explosion and I was on an ice floe in the middle of the lake with no coat and no fish.
Somebody decked you with an ice ball, then blew up the lake? Holy moly! The good news is you're okay. The bad news? No more ice fishing.
I know this is going to sound like a strange question, but what planet do you most identify with?
I guess it would be Mars. You know, that whole god of war thing?
I should have known. I'll let you get back to your nap.
Anytime you want to talk, just wake me up.
I'm glad for the chance to talk once again. There is something I must explain.
There is?
What I said before about wolves. It is because my grandmother was killed by wolves. Killed and devoured.
Are you serious?
Years ago, when my mother was a little girl, her mother, my grandmother, was on her way back from the village on her motor scooter, which was and still is the only means of transportation most Fredonians can afford. It was January, and the sun had just set, and it was dark, very cold. There were thousands of wolves in the countryside that winter. At night they would roam in huge, hungry packs. My grandmother was halfway home when she came upon a young man waving from the side of the road for her to stop. He too had been on a scooter, but his had broken down, and wolves were gathering all around him, preparing to attack. My grandmother, of course, stopped, and he leapt on behind her, and they took off down the road with the wolves, dozens of them, chasing after them. But with 2 people riding it, her scooter was slow, much too slow, and the wolves soon caught up with them. And when one of the wolves seized my grandmother's boot in its teeth and started to pull, instead of helping her, the man pushed her off the bike. It instantly gained speed and he got away. My grandmother, set upon by the wolves, did not.
If she died, how do you know that's what happened?
Tormented by guilt, the young man eventually confessed. He went to prison for several years, and the wolves were hunted year-round until the countryside was rid of them. But the damage was done. And so, I'm happy to talk to you about any subject except wolves. About them, I have nothing to say.
Ever see Lou Talbot when you're out there training?
The college student? Just yesterday I had to slow down to avoid colliding with him. It ruined my whole session.
I really need to get somewhere in the backcountry and was thinking you could maybe give me a cross-country ski lesson or 2?
Out of the question. I don't have the time, the equipment, or, frankly, the desire. I am sorry.
Would you mind telling me what planet you most identify with?
Pluto.
Actually, Pluto's not a planet anymore.
That is exactly the point. Pluto stirs up passion and controversy, yet it continues undaunted on its course, as do I. Pluto and I, we are as brothers.
You're busy, so I'll let you go.
We'll talk again, I'm sure.
What you need?
I'll let you get back to work.
Good.
I'm just going to stand here and absorb the warmth. Order up. Order up. Order up. Order up.
By the way, don't go adding paprika to Lou Talbot's food anymore. He hates paprika.
Co 1555 Mystico, and prepare to be amazed.
Who dares disturb the concentration of Mystico the Magnificent?
I'm sorry. This is Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew, I see your future clear as tape. I see a white wolf and a dark figure named Bruno.
Bruno?
But beware, Nancy Drew, the wolf will only lead to danger and intrigue.
Cool. Yes, Mystico.
The Magnificent.
Huh?
You're supposed to say Mystico the Magnificent.
Oh, right. Yes, Mystico the Magnificent.
So, Nancy Drew, what secrets from the beyond do you seek?
Something very special.
A wise choice. Return to the icy depths, and there you will discover the jewel of the deep blue sea. Mystico has spoken.
her up. You cannot pass until you have proven yourself in battle. You win. Heads up.
I broke my line. Ah, warm again.
Hey, Nance.
Hi, Ned.
What's going on?
Are you familiar with a book by Jack London called The Call of the Wild?
Sure, it's about a dog who winds up leading a pack of wolves. It's a classic. Why do you ask?
Because I found a copy of it in Lou's room.
Interesting. Maybe he's got something to do with the wolf that's been lurking around outside the lodge.
I kind of doubt it. I mean, he does stick up for the wolf, and he could be up to something outside besides snowshoeing. But if he is, I doubt it involves the wolf. I can't see Lou dealing with animals. He's just too laid back.
So the fact that he's reading that book is just a coincidence.
I think so.
As I recall, it was a pretty good book.
Yanni Volkstaya, the cross-country skier? Someone threw a bomb at him while he was out on the slopes training.
A bomb? You mean like a grenade or something?
Whatever it was, it left a small crater. I saw it myself.
Why would someone do that?
From what I've read, Yanni is a pretty ruthless competitor. He's probably made a lot of enemies. In fact, he's convinced that his competitors are the ones who blew up the bunkhouse. He thinks they were trying to intimidate him.
And what do you think?
I think he's just being paranoid. Someone may be using explosives around here, but I really don't think they're doing it just to get rid of Yanni Volkstaya.
Then why are they using them?
That I intend to find out.
Good idea.
The guy who built Icicle Creek Lodge also built this weird concrete pyramid thing nearby that everyone calls Trapper Dan's Needle.
What's it for?
No one knows, but there was a piece of black nylon-type fabric sticking out of it. Like there's a door in it and someone had snagged their clothes on it on their way in.
So you think there's a door, but you can't see one?
Right.
Well, just keep poking around. If something's got a front door, it usually has a back door, too.
Someone dressed in a black snowmobiling suit decked me with an ice ball. And when I came to, the lake had been blown to pieces and I was stranded on an ice floe.
Are you okay?
I am now. But remember that piece of black fabric I saw sticking out of Trapper Dan's needle?
You think it came from the clothes the guy who threw the ice ball was wearing?
It's a definite possibility. And if that person also blew up the lake, he or she could be the same person who blew up the bunkhouse.
Which means if you come across someone who owns a black snowmobiling suit that's missing a piece of fabric, you probably found your culprit.
Ollie's on the avalanche patrol, which means he knows how to handle explosives.
Could he be the mad bomber?
He's got the temperament for it, I can guarantee you that. What I'm not sure about is why he'd be the mad bomber. Although he did mention that he wanted to get back into ranching for himself.
What's stopping him?
No property and no cash. Which reminds me, Chantal hasn't gotten around to giving him the raise she promised him. He seemed a tad bitter about that.
Maybe he figures if he wreaks enough havoc around there, Chantal will shut down the lodge and sell it to him for next to nothing. Not only will he get property, he'll get revenge.
You really think she'd sell the lodge to Ollie?
Of course not, but if Ollie thinks that, he could easily be your guy.
I'd better get going.
You can call me anytime. Got that?
Got it. Bye. Oh man, talk about your freaky dreams. My subconscious needs to get a life.
What's up?
I was just wondering, what planet do you most identify with?
Planet X.
I'm sorry, I meant in our solar system.
Planet X?
But there is no Planet X.
There will be.
So you identify with Planet X.
Planet X. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
Would it be all right if I borrowed your snowshoes?
No.
I don't really have to borrow yours. Any old pair would do.
Well, in that case, no.
What's the matter with you? Afraid of cooties? Let her use your snowshoes.
I've only got one pair, and they're like precious, you know? Sorry, dude, the answer's no. What can I say?
Well, I'll let you go.
Rock and roll.
Nancy, hi. You finished with that survey yet?
I sure am.
Good girl. I'll just turn on my fax machine here. Okay, let her rip. Nice work, Nancy. According to the survey, our perp is none other than our bird-watching champion snowshoer, Bill Kessler.
But Bill Kessler likes to ice fish. Guadalupe Comillo is the one who likes to birdwatch. Yanni Volkstaya is a champion skier. And Lou Talbot likes to snowshoe.
Oh.
How did you come up with that survey anyway?
I put it together using this profiling kit I saw advertised on the Detective Channel. It was supposed to be foolproof. You know, maybe I just need to look at the survey data from a different perspective or something. Yeah, maybe the answer's there after all, and I just gotta shuffle things around in order to see it. Oh, hey, before I forget, Chantal said when you finished the survey, I was supposed to pass some numbers on to you. Said it was the combination of something?
Yes, to the display case. What is it?
7669. Anything else I can do for you?
I think that'll do it.
Don't be a stranger.
That did it.
How can I help you?
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Kavichinaya.
up. Order up. Possible sauropod scapula. Take to lab for precise ID. Looks like some kind of house. Could someone be living there? Hello? Is anyone here? Doesn't sound like it. The Rest of My Life by Julius McQuaid. So once I get her attention by saying her name, I can give her commands. Ability to sort objects by scent. If she has an object in her mouth, she'll sniff, then drop the object near another object that has the same scent. Pinevale Hospital. Maybe I can use Isis and her incredible sense of smell to figure out who owns the notebook I found outside. All I have to do is get something from each of the people at the lodge, something that each of them has touched, then let Isis figure out which of their scents matches the scent on the notebook. Isis, stay. Bark. Isis, bark. Go. Wonder what this is. Looks like there's a phone number on it. This indentation looks just like the one on that plaque in the lodge where that missing Rex bone used to be. I feel warmer already. Who's this from? Meet me in the sauna in the basement. I have some interesting information for you. A sauna sounds good to me. Yikes. Looks like Yanni has good reason to be so paranoid. Ah, something that Ollie has touched. Hello? Anybody here? These weren't here before. That birthmark below his eye looks very familiar. Hey, is someone out there? The door's... Whew, I'm getting really... Once I get all these pipes connected, I can turn on the cold water and cool this place off. I'm running out of time. I've got to do something fast. I've got to get these pipes aligned before I pass out from the heat. I don't have much time. I've got to get these pipes lined up now. There. I may still be locked in, but at least I won't feel like a rotisserie chicken anymore.
Nancy!
Mr. Kessler? What are you doing down here?
I came down here looking for Ollie, but then I heard all this noise and thought I'd better check it out. Door got stuck again, huh? Say, you look kind of bedraggled. Are you all right?
I'm fine, and I'll be even better after you and I have a little talk.
Yeah, that's me. When I was a kid, this place was practically my second home. My late grandmother, Tilly Wentworth, used to own it.
Was she the reason you wrote that letter I found crumpled up in your room?
About 2 years ago, just before she died, my grandmother sold this place to Albert Moeequay without telling anyone in her family. From what I've heard about Moeequay, I'm pretty sure he bullied her into selling. I think he cheated her, and he cheated us, and that it's high time somebody...
Taught him a lesson by, say, putting Icicle Creek Lodge out of business?
I had nothing to do with that explosion, Lou's window, the food poisoning, the icy stairs, none of that stuff. You ask me, it's karma. The Moikways are just getting what's coming to them.
Since you used to spend so much time here, do you know if there's a way to get into Trapper Dan's needle?
You know that pyramid thing on the table over there by the entrance to the dining room? If you fool around with it until nothing but pigs show on the outside, this compartment will open up and inside will be this round magnetic thing that used to be Trapper Dan's special master key. Just hold it up by the needle and a hidden door will pop open.
But I already opened up the pyramid and there was nothing inside.
There wasn't? Oh. Well, I'm afraid you're out of luck.
Could that magnetic key thing be somewhere else?
You know, Grandma Tilly once told me that if you turn the top of the pyramid 45 degrees, then fill all the boxes on the outside with one kind of animal, then another kind of animal, until you do that for all 4 animals, she said if you do that, you'd find a journal in there written by Trapper Dan himself.
Did you ever read it?
I was a kid. What would I want to read some crazy old coot's journal for?
I better get going.
Okie dokie.
Daniel Weissnitz, better known as Trapper Dan, I'll bet. The first thing you need to do is crack my cipher below, or just follow the moose, wolf, raccoon, and Mary. Looks like the rest is in some kind of code. Can't find Mary? Well, try pulling on that rope above the vaults. You'll just have to keep it taut. Mary always helped me with that. Mary must have been referring to his pet pig.